Well, even though I only had one major aim in the transfer window, and that was to sign a striker, and we didn't do that, I'm actually really happy with how our transfer window has gone. We've brought in some really good players. We've got the squad to a point where it is looking like it's ready for the new season, more or less. We could probably do with 1 or 2 new faces. I feel like we've used the money that we've had wisely, and we won the Community Shield by battering the Premier League champions from last season, Manchester City, by 4-0. Should we be confident? I don't know, but maybe I am a little bit. Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 8 of Club 3 of the MyCareer save here on Football Manager with Wolverhampton Wanderers. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we are going to be playing our opening 2 Premier League games of the season. It is going to be against Brentford away from home. Then it is going to be Tottenham at Molineux. And then we'll see where we go from there. And if you're excited to see how we get on in today's games, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me. And don't forget to subscribe as well. It's completely free to do so. And you'll put a big smile on this face right here. So, since you were last with us, nothing's happened much, really, because we ended with the Community Shield. So, I've gone forward a week. We've had no extra transfer news. So, if you haven't watched the transfer special, I would go back and watch it, because we did bring a number of players in. Some of them very good, some of them maybe not as good, but very important for squad depth. We'll go over them as we go to the team sheet, but we will quickly just have a quick look at the Premier League predictions with the media. So where is that going to be? Season preview, there it is. So, we are predicted to finish 9th. I am happy with that to a degree, because obviously when we joined last season, about a third of the way through the season in November, we were not in the relegation zone, but around the relegation zone. We were like 2nd or 3rd team before the relegation zone, so about 16th or something like that, I think. So we were struggling, but to have us 9th on there is pretty good, although we did finish like 6th or 7th last season. So I personally think we're going to finish around 6th or 7th again. You can see in the Dream 11, though, Sjöqvist. So happy that he's in there. That shows you just how much of a quality player we've gone and signed. I'm really, really happy that he's in there. Have we got any other players on this little list down the side here? Darvic is on there, so he's just missed a cut on there, which is interesting to see. Anyone else? No one else. Okay, we've got 2 players in that list. I'm quite happy with that. So, we're not going to mess around too much. We're just going to get into the game, and we're going to go through the players that we've got who have come in as new, and we'll go through those as we give you the 11. So, Trafford is going to be our goalkeeper, new goalkeeper for this season. He was a new signing. Diogo Dalot has come in from Manchester United. A bit concerning. He's already gone down by half a star. So, you know, we'll just deal with that. He is a short-term solution at 30 years old, mainly because Leifson is going to be the heir apparent. He is a wonder kid. He's going to get a lot of game time this season, but I'm going to go with tried and tested to begin with, especially away from home. Then we've got Ute and Owino. Ute was it last season. Owino is new. Owino came in from, was it Nottingham Forest he came in from? I think it was. Yes, it was. He's an Irish wonder kid, and he scored against Manchester City in the Community Shield final, which was fantastic. Then we've got Ike Nuri, reliable as ever in left back. Central midfield, or defensive midfield, I should say, we've got Hinselwood and Andre. Hinselwood came in from from Newcastle United, and he's basically a multi-tool of a player. He's someone who can fill in gaps. He's going to have to fill in gaps today because we don't have Bajcetic, who is our number 1 in that position, and we don't have Bon, who is our number 2, who's at the Olympics. So we are having to use the kind of utility player in there. But he is partnering old reliable Andre, who, bear in mind, was wanted by Arsenal for transfer, which made him want to put in a transfer request, which we agreed to as long as his release clause is met. Arsenal apparently no longer interested. Chelsea are on a loan. No, Chelsea, you're not having him on loan. Pay the release clause or you're not having him. And then we go into the attacking midfield. This is really where the team kicks on. We've got Fernandez on one side, was here last season. Darvic on the other. We signed him in January. He was sensational. And then kind of the jewel in the crown, Sjöqvist, who is he's a wonder kid model citizen who did not want anything to do with us when we tried to sign him last season because he wanted to play in the Champions League. He's relented and he said, you know what, Europa League will do. So he's come to us. He's got 8 caps for Denmark at 20. He's got 1 goal. Again, looks really good against Manchester City, so I'm excited for him. And then the problem position, striker, it's currently occupied by Patricio Jara. The concern I've got with him is his low determination. But again, against Manchester City, he looked good. He's unambitious, but that might just mean he doesn't want to ever leave the club. But it also means that if we fall behind in the game, we need to do some switching around, and that's where Ben Cook on the bench will come into it. Other new signings of note, Leifson I've already mentioned. McKernan we signed from our old club, Charlton. He is a wonder kid, a Scottish wonder kid, and he looks like he will one day potentially be the business. We are currently training him as an attacking midfielder. That process is going quite slowly, so we'll keep an eye on him. And against slower teams, he will get a lot more game time. And then Matt O'Reilly is another one who we signed. Again, another utility player. Can play as the holding midfielder or the attacking midfielder. Never played for England at any level. He's just basically a signing, similar to Hinselwood, who's English, who helps with our registration. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the main reason he's here. And then we did sign a Twester last season. He actually is the one I thought would be starting the season as striker. He didn't do very well in pre-season, so I'm actually debating whether we just cash in on him straight away. But I'm thinking either cashing in on him or we loan him out. One or the other. We'll have a think about that one. Jara, I should mention, wasn't here last season as well, but we do also have Nadson Juan, who was here last season and looked very good in moments, so hopefully he can do a good job when we call upon him. But again, we do have those two injuries to Mapiu at centre-back and Bietic in central midfield. Mapiu is out for quite some time. He's out for 7 months, potentially. Bietic, however, is only out for up to 4 weeks, so we will have him relatively soon. Right, waffled on enough. Let's get this season underway, shall we? This is our first full season as Wolves manager. Now, at Charlton, we joined around the same time of a League One season as we did with Wolves. Then we had one full season, and then we left the following season after. So we did about 2 seasons. I think we'll be at Wolves a bit longer because I can see a project here. The financial side of things is worrying me. We are hemorrhaging money. However, there's about £100 million worth of debt that isn't transfer debt, or just over that amount, about 110 actually. So that is kind of coming out of the club every month. So that's not helping things. Also, we have a high wage budget because we have got a lot of players, and also I have added some transfer debt. Future transfer windows, we are going to have to be a little bit more sensible than we have been this season, so we'll have to bear that in mind. So what I'm thinking is, as we get underway with the first Premier League game of the season, I'm thinking if we need to solve striker still, if we don't think that Jara is going to be a long-term solution, which I'm a little bit sceptical as to whether he will be, then what I'm thinking is next season, if we're happy with the rest of the squad, we'll prioritise striker and we'll just try and spend all of the money we've got on a striker. And then if we need to do anything else, well, we'll have to sell to buy. Striker, I think, is going to be the ongoing thing. I'm a little bit concerned that Brentford have been all on top of us so far in this game. After the game against Manchester City, that does worry me a little bit. However, we've intercepted there. Jara does really well. He's got players around him finally coming up. Andre goes back to Owino now. Are we going to just slowly build from the back here? That'd be quite nice. Right, Fernandez cuts in, looking for options. He has got some ahead of him into Darvic. That's a heavy touch from him. Bit disappointing from one of the superstars there. Very disappointing indeed. And now here come Brentford. We're a little bit sleepy from the looks of things in this game. Right, Tillemans, formerly of Villa, of course, now in this universe in Brentford. Looking for a wonder goal, but James Trafford is equal to it. I've used James Trafford before in a save, and he wasn't particularly good. So far, he is looking like he's going to be pretty decent. I am concerned about that match momentum. We are getting utterly obliterated. I'm going to encourage the boys. And they're having more shots. We are away from home. We do have to remember, we are on their patch, so it is going to be a bit of a struggle. But they are all over us. So the match ratings aren't particularly great, neither are ours, but we finally have a potential chance at possession. Right, Andre chips it over, looking for Dalot. Dalot now got a chance to cross it in, or is he going to wait for support? He waits for support for Hinselwood into Andre, who's going to go for a worldie, and it just hits the top of the net. We get unlucky there. We have an opportunity, but we do not have the means to take it. We have struggled to break them down here, but we are looking like we're getting in a bit of momentum finally. Ball looking for Sjöquist. He's gone down here, and Aaron Hickey may have given away a penalty. It's been checked by VAR. Who knows at this point? Who knows? It could get given, it could not get given, but he was nowhere near the ball there, Andre, and he got taken. Was it Andre? No, it wasn't. It was Sjöquist, but it is a penalty. And against the run of play, we have a chance to go ahead here in the opening game of the season. It's going to be Noah Darvic to step up, and he manages to score because his name is not Angel Gomez. Don't know what I'm on about. Have a look at last season, the amount of times that man missed a penalty. Darvic makes it 1-0, 42nd minute, 42nd or 43rd, I don't know exactly when it went in. It went in the 42nd, fantastic. Really confidently taken penalty. He has got good penalty attributes from what I remember. And we lead by a 1-0, slightly against the run of play, although when you actually look at the match statistics, it's actually not too bad. We've had an equal amount of shots, slightly more possession, and our passes completed has been higher, and our XG is higher as well. Just the momentum seemed to be with them for quite some time, but the XG actually is well with us. A penalty does skew that, though, obviously, because it is a great goal-scoring opportunity. Right, I'm not particularly happy with Aït-Nouri. I'm expecting more from him. Andre's been okay. We'll tell Owino I'm not happy with him. You two will tell you to keep going. Right, the attacking line. Darvic is doing okay. Sjöquist and Fernandes could be doing better. And I'm going to say to Jara, keep going. He did well to hold the ball up in that one instance. That was good. And actually, the three who are on the good ratings, we'll say that we're not doing too badly. Right, we'll just go into the second half as we are. We're going to demand more from the boys. Let's try and get a second goal just to try and calm things down even more. Right, we have a corner here. Darvic whipping in, looking for Ute. And Ute does what Ute does well. It's a header in the goal. It is being looked as a possible offside, though, so that could ruin everything. Let's have a look. Do we see the players' arms raised up? Well, I can't see because that's in the way. I think they have raised up. They did raise up, and it is 2-0. There we go. Asking ye shall receive. I wanted another goal. We've got it. Darvic delivers from the corner, being the provider this time. And Ute, we know he is good from a set piece every now and then. And he's gone and done that for us. And we are hopefully now just going to take over in this game. Again, momentum seems to still be with them quite a bit. But I'm not too bothered about that as long as we win. I was just a bit concerned in the first half before we started to have chances. But we are looking a bit sharper now, which is good. Right, can we make it 3? I'm quite happy with the 2-0. I'm quite happy with the win in general on the opening day, especially away from home. But I would quite like another goal if that is at all possible. They're getting a bit of momentum back. So let's look at freshening things up a little bit. I am going to take Aït-Nouri off. He's not had a good game. Tavares is going to come on. Owino's not had a great game, so I'm going to bring Dan Hughes on as well. And Sjöquist has been disappointing, which is disappointing to say. Now, the problem with him is we don't really have a top quality attacking midfielder to put in there. So Matt O'Reilly's going to go there because we don't have any other options. I'm going to leave it at that for now. And then we still have our final 2 substitutions to make should we need them. Disappointed with Aït-Nouri, disappointed with Sjöquist, but you know what? It is what it is. It's the opening game of the season. It's away from home. The first half was quite difficult, so they've just had their flow kind of disturbed. Also, Darvic has been a bit loosey-goosey on the ball, but he's still done well because he scored and assisted. So I can't be too mad at him. Right, Ute into Jara. Jara's dropped deep. Gets it to Fernandes. That's exactly what we want from that forward line. That is exactly how I want them to be playing. Striker drops deep, makes space for the attacking midfielders. One of them makes the run. The striker's got a good enough ability of passing to find him, and the attacking midfielder has enough ability in terms of finishing to put it in the back of the net. Exactly what I wanted to see. And if he just sees the pass to Fernandes, and Fernandes, one of the veterans of the team, makes it 3. That is exactly how I want this formation to work. Striker makes space, attacking midfielder does the business. Happy days. Very happy with that goal. And Jara gets an assist as well. So the more good that Jara does, the more I am going to be like, he's going to be the guy. Even with his low ambition, it's still going to be him. Right, I'm going to take Dalot off. He's going to come off for Leifson. We'll give him 10 minutes. And it's either going to be McKernan or Cook. It's going to be McKernan purely because he needs more game time. And Jara's playing well and he's actually quite fit still, whereas Fernandes and Darvic are tiring. I'm going to take off Darvic and McKernan can come on because I want McKernan to be kind of on that right-hand side. Let's just give him 10 minutes in the game and just see it out. I'm delighted we've scored 3 away from home. I'm delighted that some of the players are looking sharp. Hinselwood's look good in defence. A bit disappointed about Sjöquist, but you can't have everything. And Jara, again, has impressed me like he did against Manchester City. That will do nicely. I'm very, very happy with that as a result. I timed that beautifully, by the way. Very happy with that as a result. Even though the match momentum was more on their side of things, but we had some very good performances out there. And a clean sheet to start the season away from home, I will take that all day long. We'll keep an eye on Sjöquist because he's better than that. He showed that against Manchester City that he's much better than that. I'm going to put that down to first Premier League day nerves. I am, again, I've said it in the last video, I'm a bit worried about him in the future because what is going to end up happening is he's going to be unhappy with the fact that he's not living in his own country and he's going to want to go back there, which means he'll go to another Premier League team because that's always the way that it happens. Right. delighted with that as a first game. I didn't think it was going to go that way that the game started, but very, very happy indeed. Look at Chelsea smashing Norwich, by the way. So let's go to the next game, which is at home, but it is against Tottenham. Now, Tottenham last season, where did you lads finish? You finished last season in 11th. So, I mean, we beat Brentford in 16th, who finished in 16th. Ended up quite comfortable. I'd like to think that in terms of positioning the table, we could beat Spurs, but they will be a bit more difficult. They are predicted this season, by the way, to finish in 7th, 2 spaces ahead of us. So this could be quite a competitive one, but we will, of course, have home advantage. Let's get to that game. Okay, we are back for the second game of the season, our first home game of the season against Tottenham. And this is the 11 that we're going to be going with. It is pretty much the same 11. Trafford is in goal. It's Dalot, Ute, Owino and Ait-Nouri in defence. One change with Ait-Nouri. I've changed him to complete wing back. That is his preferred role. And I have used him in that before when he has been good, so I'm going to give him a chance in that one today. I was just a bit disappointed with him in the last game, but he has been good in pre-season and he was good against Man City, so we might change it back. But we're going to go with that today. Then it's Hinselwood and Andre in the middle with Davic, Sjoquist and Fernandes supporting Jara up front. Again, I'm hoping that Sjoquist can put something in today. He, again, looked good against Man City. He got himself an 8-point rating. So, I mean, he's definitely there and he's definitely a superb player as well. We just need to give him a little bit of time. I am training him as an attacking midfielder, aren't I? Sorry, let me just fulfill my curiosity. Yes, I am. I was. Yeah, he will be on attacking midfield on support as well. Maybe we just need to have a bit of a fiddle with his roles and everything, but I'm pretty confident with him in that position. He will come good. Right, to the game. Let's see what we can do. Spurs did win in the opening game of the season. I don't know who they played, but they did win. They're just above us in the table as it stands. Well, I don't know whether it still is, but after the game immediately, once we played it, we were 4th, they were 3rd. I did have a quick little check. So we'll be in and around where they are. It will be interesting to see whether we can come out on top against them, because in theory you'd imagine they've got a better team than us. However, we have got some fantastic players. They do still have Son up front. They've still got Kulusevski. They've ended up with Ramsey from Aston Villa. Gray's still there as well. So there's a few recognisable names. Vicario is their goalkeeper. There you go. You can see we've shifted down a little bit. 5th and 6th after some teams have played. We are playing on the Sunday. So we're just behind them. We are expected to finish kind of around the same place as them in the table, just a little bit lower. So it's going to be interesting to see who will get the better of the other today. I'm hoping it's us, obviously, but you never know. Right, let's see what happens. Now, we have started the game better than them a little bit, apparently. Let's see whether we can maintain that. Right, ball to Davic. Davic now, he has got players running with him. Goes Sjoquist, who went for a wonder goal there, and he ends up winning a corner. He's obviously heard me and decided he wants to do something. Right, Davic looking for the corner. Gets it to Fernandes as a short one. Fernandes into Davic, doing something here. Oh, I thought we might get it just bundled into the net by someone, maybe even one of their boys, but it doesn't end up happening, and it remains 0-0. Strong start from us, though. Really happy with how we're looking on the front foot. Sjoquist showing a little bit of initiative, just going for that shot early, winning us a corner. Maybe he could have worked something if he'd have kept the ball at his feet. I don't know, but I'm happy with him trying to show the initiative like that. What I'm not happy about is the lack of highlights since then. I'd like a few more, but match momentum-wise, we are looking better. But it is a throw-in to Spurs, which is a bit of a concern in the next highlight. Pedro? That was Pedro Porro, and I managed to merge both of his names together there. And Jacob Ramsey nearly makes it 1-0, but Kulusevski does. It is going to get checked for offside, but we might be behind against Spurs here. I think we are. I think I saw a hand raised. Yeah, hands raised. It is 1-0 to Spurs. That is disappointing. I'm not even going to look at the highlight. I'm pretty disappointed that we've just let them in there. Pretty disappointed indeed. Right, come on, lads. We need to do a bit better than that. Ute not having a good game. Dalot not having a good game. Ait-Nouri not having a good game. We need to do a bit better than that. We're having chances. We're just struggling to put them in the back of the net. That is the concern with Jara up front, is that if he isn't able to drop deep enough to make anything happen, all of a sudden our cutting edge is gone. Although Matthias Fernandes is having a good game, wanted by Bayern Munich at the moment, apparently. I'm going to say that one. We'll have a word with some of the boys as well, just to try and G them up. You two, not been good enough so far. Get your lives sorted out. You two, I'm actually going to say the same thing to you two. The defence has been pretty woeful so far, so we'll have a word with you guys. And you know what? We'll say it to Owino as well. You weren't that bad. You were pretty poor. Actually, Hinselwood has been pretty solid for us so far, and we'll say that to you as well. Right, we need to just G things up a little bit. I mean, I think it's early to go attacking, but I am debating it. It's another poor game for Mike Nuri. I'm going to change him back to wing back on support. And we'll see what happens. Now, the problem is, to make room for the returning Stefan Bon, who is now back from his international duty, I did have to drop off Nuno Tavares, which means I don't have an option to bring on for Ait Nuri. So I really need Ait Nuri to step up. We're going to go again, because we did do very well in that first half. I'm going to just demand more from the boys, and let's see whether we can just put the ball in the back of the net against them. Because we are a good enough team to beat them. But we've got Ben Cook. I could bring Ben Cook on. We know he was a bit of a super sub last season. Their match momentum has just skyrocketed, by the way. I'm going to fire them up. We are going to go attacking in a minute as well. No highlights in this second half so far, which is a bit of a concern. Jara's getting bullied, I think, so we are going to take him off. Ben Cook is going to come on. He's only 2-star, but again, it was very effective last season, so we'll give him the chance. Andre's having a really poor game out there. I think Matt O'Reilly might have to come on. Just to try and steady things. We're going to be making wholesale changes here, actually. Yute not having a good game. I'm going to hold off on bringing Yute off just for now. But we'll go with that to begin with. This is where the depth problem might come, because we only had so much money, even with player sales. Right, Van de Ven with the throw. Here comes Spurs again. Right, we head it out. We can't get the... My goodness me, what a goal that would have been. Oh, Spurs are kind of playing us off the park here, which is a bit of a concern. Right, I'm going to go attacking. I know we're in the middle of a corner, but we're going to go attacking. Because we need to do something. Right, Ait Nuri. Running forward here. The highlight continues. He has got bodies running up with him. Gets it to Fernandes, who's been one of our better players. Fernandes whipping it in. Looking for the head of Cook. Darvic. Oh, it's poor from Darvic. That's really poor from Darvic. Right. Got a corner. I'm a bit concerned with this one, actually, because we're at home. You'd like to think that we can do something. Scramble in the box. No one can get a finish on there. Right, Ait Nuri. Showquist. Bit of magic from Showquist, and it is 1-1, but it's going to be checked for offside. Oh, Showquist, please tell me he's got his first goal. I think it's his first goal. Did he score in the last game? I think he scored in the Community Shield, actually, but it is a goal for Showquist. He took the corner. The ball comes to Ait Nuri here. He sees Showquist returning, and Showquist just comes in, one touch, and then bang. Just decides he wants a goal, and it is 1-1. No less than we deserve. I don't like the fact we're starting with their kickoff. I really don't like the fact we're starting with their kickoff. Right. Come on, boys. Let's go and get a winner. We are good value for a draw minimum, but really we should be winning. Right, we've won the ball. Great stuff. O'Reilly into Owino. First look at O'Reilly in competitive football, by the way. I think he might have played against Man City, but first, you know, that's kind of a glorified friendly. We all know that. Right, Ait Nuri, who has recovered quite a bit, actually. It's a poor pass from him, though. And Fernandes can't get there. And now Spurs, we've gifted them the ball back. We're going to just try and press them, though, which if we can just get the ball off of them here. Van de Ven running forward into Ramsey. We bully him. No, we can't. We can bully Gray, though. And here is Ben Cook. Cuts inside, waiting for people to come. His finish is not particularly great. It's fine. It's okay. It is what it is. We have dominated them on shots, by the way. But possession-wise, it has been all them. Right, demand a little bit more. We're going to make another, at least one substitution, I think. Yute has had a poor game. Dan Hughes is going to come on. And I'm looking at Darvic, who's not played well. And I'm thinking Lewis McKernan, but I'm also thinking Nadson Juan's got a bit of magic. So we're going to bring on Nadson Juan because he can just do a job for us. We'll make those two changes. A little bit early to make both of them than I normally would, but I want to give a bit of time for one to actually make an impact. Right, Syracuse with the corner. Looking for Owino. Into Nadson Juan. Straight away he's made an impact from the corner. Nadson Juan makes it 2-1. Well... alrighty then, I'll take that. Showquist with the corner. It's Owino with the header. It's saved. Crosses it to Nadson Juan though. And it is an assist for Owino, randomly. But we do manage to get ourselves in the lead. The question is now, can we either A, hold on, or B, build on it? I'm happy with either of those two. What I wouldn't be happy with is us to concede. However, there is a highlight with Spurs in possession. They're passing it around here. I'm waiting for it to be pinged over. Actually, they've given the ball away. Nadson Juan to O'Reilly. Showquist flicks it on to Juan. Juan's out wide now, where he does thrive. He has got support with him with Leifson. Doesn't go for it. Looks for Cook with the header. Just wide. Cook's done all right, to be fair. I know he missed that one chance quite badly, but he's done well. He's a good link-up striker. Relatively speaking, of course, he's only so good. He's still very young. He's still got a lot of time to learn. Ball goes over the top. Ramsey's there, and it is an equaliser. Oh, we've really stuffed up there. We've just let them back in. Right, come on. 5 minutes left. Let's go and get another winner. We thought we'd done it. Do you know what? I know we've had plenty of chances. They've had plenty of the ball. A draw today isn't the worst result in the world. But looking at the amount of chances that we've had, I will feel a little bit annoyed that we've let them score. Because I think those 2 goals, it's more on our complacency than their skill, I think. Match momentum, we've dominated them as well. I do feel like that maybe is 2 points dropped more than a point gained. But before the game, if you'd have said to me, what do you want out of the game, Stu? I'd have probably said, I'll take a draw. I probably would have said that. But we played well. It's just, again, the sharpness. Jara didn't have the best of games. That is going to happen every now and then. I'm not going to be too critical of him. He's still going to be our starting striker to begin with. Ben Cook did look decent when he came on as well. My one concern is we've immediately got Manchester City next, and that is a concern. Right, bit of a spoiler here in terms of a striker, in terms of a signing, I should say. Central defender Ayub Hall. You might recognise him from Charlton. I'm looking to bring him in on loan just as a bit of cover-up, just because my PU is out for so long. So we're going to just accept that. He's on pennies. I have had to lie to them and say that I'll play him as a wide centre-back as a regular starter. I intend to do neither of those things. But he is now going to be in at the club. I mean, he's fine. He's nothing special. He'll do a job for us. We've got limited funds. It feels like a signing that makes sense. And also, he's 20 years old and English. What's not to love about that? So he's going to be in. Right, well, that's going to be it for today's video. When are we going to come back? Well, we're going to do a bit of a jump because we've literally played 3 games in a row in the last 2 videos. So we're going to do a bit of a jump. We're going to probably come back around October, November time. So we're going to have a bunch of games, which is annoying because we've got some really big games coming up next. So we'll kind of come back maybe around here, around Newcastle and Bristol City. That feels like a good mix of games because Newcastle are doing relatively well in this save, I think. How did they do last season in domestic league? They finished second. So yeah, let's come back against the second place team from last season and then a team who got promoted last season as well. That feels like a good little mix of games. We have got a really tough run in terms of games we know about. We've got City. I didn't even look at this run. Spurs that we've just played, then City, then Liverpool, Carabao Cup, then Man United. What a horrible run of games that is. Well, did we have a similar run of like where we were at Charlton last season? I'm sure we had like a horrific run of games when we opened things up with Charlton last season. Let's just have a quick. I'm curious just to see what it was. Wasn't quite as bad, but yeah, very similar. Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Very, very similar kind of nasty run. So, yeah, what did we do wrong to the Football Manager gods? We did something apparently. But I'll take 4 points from our opening 2 games. I'm not going to be too disappointed about that. That is a good pair of results. We beat Brentford, who we should have beat. And Spurs, I did say beforehand, it could be a bit of a tough one. It turned out to be a bit of a tough one. But we got a goal for Sjoquist, his first proper competitive goal, although we did score against Man City, and Nadson Juan got on the score sheet as well because that's just what Nadson Juan does. We will be back for Newcastle and Bristol City unless anything changes between now and then, and hopefully when we come back we'll be doing quite well. I mean, 5th in the table at the moment. If that's how it is at the end of the season, I'll take that all day long. Thank you very much for watching. By the way, I should mention I've got thumb kind of gaps in this new hoodie that I've got, so it doesn't really do the click, so I'm going to try that again. That's much better. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on there for me. And do not forget to subscribe as well if you want to keep up to date with all of the content that comes out of the channel. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.